All right, people, what's up? Now, this is part two of that. Well, it's still a working title in progress because I didn't plan on releasing that video until later. I thought it was going to take them longer to merge their alliances into one big clusterfuck. That's what it's going to be. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is uh is two things. One, the clusterfuck of situation you're going to find yourself in weeks or months from now. You're going to realize you should listen to what I'm talking about. So that's going to be one part. And the other part is going to be how specific individuals that were already named in the previous video have attempted to blackball people on this server since the server has been up. So I'm going to talk about those two parts. Okay, so they just changed the servers per continent. Like something like 70 to 80% of the competition that was more mature and older than us is gone. Like if you were ever going to form up a conglomerate of people together, which I had come up with suggestions in the past to team up for Chalons, get a tier 4 castle for one alliance and do it for the next alliance, etc. If you're ever going to do this, the appropriate time would have been months ago. Now, the way you're set up, you got to, you guys, I'm talking to everybody in this that's going to be in this alliance, everyone else on the server, right? I'm talking to you. I'm not making this video for a specific guy, although he'd like to think that. What, where we were at with top four nap, and considering the the server continent, servers per continent changes, the way we're set up and what each alliance should have done concerning all stars is you get one person, the most powerful person in your alliance. You'll get matched up. Your battlefields team, if you were low power, and we were all like 30 to 50 billion power, your battlefields team will be such that your highest power person is probably going to be significantly higher power than everyone else, and he's going to be able to get an overwhelming majority of the points in the battlefields. Like I'm scoring between like 40,000 to 60,000 points in a battlefield. I'm getting like somewhere between 60 to 80% of the score. It's changed a lot since we recently got new members. We just got our highest score today. So there's two things. If you're highly interested in battlefields, if you're highly interested in receiving the best rewards in the game and working towards that, the way our server should have been set up is we only have so many big spending high power players, right? We could have had one per alliance. You could have had one per alliance that their battlefields was set up where you had, Doomed and TDR, and maybe you had New York Year or NYY Year in TND, and then you had ASBO in AOW. Although, and you had Matsumara SOCOM in in Lake, and we were all set up that when it came to All Stars qualifying, so there's two different topics. There's Challenge qualifying, which is team points overall. Personal scores don't matter. It's your overall team points. So you guys are still going to be able to accomplish that. But All Stars qualifying, you can only accomplish getting someone into Major League All Stars to get a dragon if you have one person. First, you work on one person that can get a majority of the points. You're not going to do that the way you're going to set up your battlefields. Like all your high-powered people are going to want to get in the battlefields, and if you put all your high-powered people in the same battlefields, no one's going to get enough points. Even with the server continent changes, no one's going to get enough points to qualify for Major League. You guys are going to qualify for, Elite League or what are the two Junior League or something? You guys might qualify for those. If you just got one alliance instead of three alliances, you can have one person from three alliances getting into Major League All Stars. Now you might have, now you're not going to have one person getting into Major League All Stars. The only way you'd be able to do that is if they have half you guys sit out for one All Stars, half your top 20 sit out for one All Stars, and the next All Stars they do the other half. Okay, so once you accomplish that, so like I'm gonna direct my alliance to do, because my rank fours don't fucking work for you. Fucking guy. What I'm going to direct my rank force and my alliance to do this next All Stars, since we have someone that can get into Major League All Stars, once you accomplish that, which you guys aren't going to be able to do the way you're setting up this alliance at our stage of the game for where we're at as a server. But for my alliance, what we can do is step two. Now that I know I can get into Major League All Stars, I'm going to have, our top 5 or 6 guys after me link me their battle reports, and whoever has the highest attack damage for siege, ranged, and mounted on average, whoever has the highest march troops, now we get a wingman. Now, when we go to the Battle of Constantinople, instead of me zeroing out everyone by myself in the All-Stars phases, I'm gonna have me and just one other dude rally everybody and zero everybody, and hopefully get that second person. The guy with the highest amount of attack for the attack marches. Ground attack doesn't matter that much. But I'm going to have the second highest is probably going to be Jade. I'm going to have Jade as my wingman, for example, and get 2 people qualified for Major League. Once you accomplish that, you try for 3. You try for 3 people. Because no matter what, if you put your top 20 people in one battlefield, it's just going to go bad for you. It's just going to go bad. No single individual, because that's all that matters is personal score for All Stars qualifying. And since none of you guys have really good buffs, because if you put all your, okay, so they have, the only thing that's going to be on this list all the way down to past 100 ranks, so once they fully merge, all these are going to be leg or SMF. So anything that doesn't say leg is going to say SMF, all the way down to past 100. If you put your top 20 people in a battlefield, you're just your individual score is all that matters for All-Star qualifying, and you're just not going to, because if you qualify for the next tier down, and then you place really high in that tier through the end, and the preliminaries and the semifinals and the finals, all you get is 50 galaxy coins. You need 150 galaxy coins to get a dragon. So you'd have to go through 3 All-Stars, then make it through the finals, make it to the finals in the lower tier league, the next lower tier league, I think that's called Elite League. You'd have to do that 3 times to get an All-Star dragon. So that's the real reason why forming this up is dumb. Because, I mean, when my alliance, if we accomplish that, this next All-Stars, and we have 2 people with All-Star dragons, and you guys have none, I mean, maybe, you're probably not going to lose people right now. In the last video, I was a little excited because I had made it and thought I was going to release it a week later, 4 or 5 days later, or, sometime after the Throne War or something like that. But my plan was to release it when I got confirmation that all 3 of the alliances knew, because I suspected they probably told T&D last. Okay, so that's one topic. The other topic is blackballing. These people that have tried to run this server, their 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 situation, their methodology is to blackball someone that doesn't coordinate with them. So they did it to me. They did it to Ellie. They did it to Digital Dan. Like the first several months of our server, they would have whoever was the king, whoever had the throne, they would have them list the people that were blackballed to the server in all the king's mails. Like, hey, this person isn't ever allowed to join an alliance. So maybe not. So I'll talk about how they tried to blackball me. So I was in one of the alliance. I got them all. I have I have the alliances bookmarked in the on the world map. These three red things are the alliances, but there's only going to be this one after this. um, but I was in this alliance over here for several months, and I came up with a plan that I was going to go to each different of the three alliances for a period of, the beginning of one challenge all the way through the beginning to the next challenge, which is several months. And I went to Daddy's alliance first, and I made a video about him, and they kicked me out of the alliance. I was only there for like 2 or 3 days, but then they talked to the alliance leader of my real alliance that I've been in for months, and got them to say that I couldn't rejoin them because my plan was to go to each alliance, right, one after another, and like I spent some time, thinking up this plan, and I communicated to everybody about it, and emailed everybody or talked to world chat, told everyone what my plan was, and they ruined it in a couple of days. And then they communicated to Asmo to get it, so I couldn't even go back into my main alliance because once I got kicked out of the first one, there's kind of no point. I want to spend some time in each, get to know other people, get to know everyone in the top alliances, get some unity on the server. That's what they named their alliance, Unity. But SMF Unity, so much fun. I don't know, but yeah. So that was their attempt to blackball me. They made it so I couldn't even go back into my main alliance. It blackballed me in a couple of days. So I joined this alliance, and several weeks or a month into it, they all wanted me to be leader of their alliance. So the leader passed leadership to me. Okay, so that was their attempt to blackball me. So Ellie is right here. She's K39. There was some attack that was done, and people were supposed to compensate some resources, and it was only like several billion of each resource, like 3 or 4 billion of each resource, and she couldn't pay it, but she had a red subsidy. So they convinced her to give the only red subsidy on the server, worth somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000 if you wanted to obtain it. They convinced her to give it to Daddy. Now they have it assigned to Doomed right now because he's the highest power guy in their alliance. But this is Daddy's cultural subsidy. And so during this, there was a whole war. They zeroed a bunch of people in their alliance. They stole like 5 or 6 other gold subsidies. And in the end of it, they convinced her to give them this red subsidy. Didn't even give them back any of the gold subsidies they stole. It's the most unfair ending, unfair story, unfair situation I've ever seen in any video game I've ever played. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. They also made she was the leader. She was the leader of TND. They also made her step down from leadership of TND, which is one of these 3 top NAP servers. Ever since we've had top 4 NAP for months, she was leader of this alliance. They made her step down. They zeroed a bunch of people in her fucking alliance. And then since she couldn't pay, it was like 3 billion each resource or something. Like, it wasn't that much. Like, $46,000 is way more than 3 billion each resource. It's like 200 billion of each resource or something crazy like that. Okay, and now the next thing they did, they tried to blackball Digital Dan. Where's Digital Dan? Digital Dan is, well, he's somewhere on the map. He K39 too. Now, he was in Daddy's Alliance. You know what they did? To try to blackball him? This Daddy and this email and this Asmo character? I'll show you what they fucking did right now. I might have to scroll up a little bit to find the messages, but this Asmo guy that's been botting ever since he's been playing the game, he's been botting ever since the server came up. Every time I look at my Discord, it says Nox player next to his name because we're friends. But this guy, he contacted me trying to see if I was interested or would help him zero Digital Dan in the future. Now there's a couple things I want to say about that. One, he contacted the highest powered person on the server because he got shit buffs and he can't do it himself. Oh, it doesn't say Nox player right now. All right, let's see where it's at. This is about 5 or 6 days ago. I'm gonna find it. Hold on a second. Okay, his defense isn't great. I've zeroed 4 billion. Digital Dan's 4 billion power. He becomes a nuisance, so we're going to have to team up and zero him. He's planning ahead because we had a guy like that in server 55. That was the only solution. The only solution is to zero Digital Dan. I don't think it's wise to allow Dan to join any of your alliances. He wants to blackball this guy. This is what these fucking cunts do. At Asmodee 0524, absolute fucking cunt. Daddy, capital D, capital A, capital D, capital D, capital Y. Absolute fucking cunt. So that's just what I want to say about that right there. So those two subjects, the way you're forming up this alliance and how you're going to be progressing through battlefields, for anyone that's interested, you ain't going to be able to fucking do it unless you come up with some rotation where you can only participate in every other All-Stars. Who's going to be down with the people that are interested in progressing in battlefields, which is the thing I'm most interested in doing in this game. One, I want to convert my sources of life into resources during SBS. Yeah, plundering is real. Two, I want to progress in battlefields. And you're not going to be able to do it. That was topic one. Topic two is Asmo and Diddy are absolute fucking cunts. I hope you enjoyed it.